Hey guys, Michael Ketchen here with another episode of the Michael Ketchen Show without Matthew Hitchcock. Today I am strongly outnumbered and very impressed. This is our first all-female panel of badass women entrepreneurs. Thank you guys for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Everybody knows the world-famous Kailey Kirker, literally the only reason people follow the Michael Ketchen Show.
The GOAT.
Danielle Harasek. I got that name right.
Yes.
And we are joined by the lovely Desrosiers.
There you go.
Did I do that correctly?
You got it. Nailed it.
Practiced it 4 times before the show. Thank you guys all for being here today. I know we're all busy. We have a lot going on, but I think this is important to get out as someone who's married to a female entrepreneur and someone who's raised by a single mom, to always kind of highlight that it does not matter, man, woman, whatever it is, we're all successful entrepreneurs, including you three. So thank you guys for taking the time.
Thanks for having us.
All right. So with that said, there are no pre-scheduled questions. You guys have no idea where we're going today. And it's not going to be too hot. It'll just be a little hot in the hot seats. So Alex, because the people haven't met you before, give us a little bit of background. I know you've recently transitioned into what you're doing now. 30-second, 60-second overview. Who are you? How'd you get into the space and what's going on?
Yeah. So I grew up in Andover.
Yep.
I played lacrosse, Division I lacrosse in college.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I
mentioned that
all you
because,
athletes, Jesus.
and I only mention that because I think it speaks a lot to just my competitive nature, and I think that seed has just always been in me.
Yep.
And I currently live in Windham, New Hampshire, southern New Hampshire, with my husband. We have 2 little boys, another baby on the way. I am a full-time real estate agent, a real estate investor, and I teach fitness classes. So
Just a few things going on.
Just a few things going
So
on.
next time you're being a little bitch about how busy you are, all right? Just remember everything Alex has going on.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. And now the real estate agent thing, I won't hold that against you too much. As everyone knows, we're not fans of that Maui Kailey.
No.
They do more harm than good, but there are some good ones. Shout out to Phil and Angela. And Alex. I was getting there. I feel like I'm like in trouble with mom over here already.
Danielle's going to keep you in line.
Yeah, you know, she's more nervous, I think, than you are. And remind all the lovely people as if you would ever be forgettable. But Danielle Harasek, we haven't seen you in a while. You have a few things going on. What do you have cooking nowadays?
So when this episode airs, and a lot of people don't know this yet, including you, but I will have sold and successfully exited my second brick and mortar business. Surprise.
Congratulations.
Thanks. And so my next venture is going to be, well, there's a lot to be seen, but not a lot I can share yet, but online space.
It's so
and
mysterious.
Yeah. Basically having more of a remote schedule that I can work around my family's life and, my entrepreneurship dreams.
That's very, very important.
Yeah.
And Kailey, 60-second overview to get reconnected with people on who is the world famous Kailey Kirker.
Okay, well, I grew up in Hampstead, and I currently have moved twice to buy my own house hacks. So I moved to Derry into my first house, and then I rent that out. Now I live in Salem into my second house. I rent out 2 units, live in 1. I also teach fitness classes, so I do that on the side once a week to keep busy, and I'm also your assistant.
Yeah, which is 3 full-time jobs rolled into one.
Yeah.
Actually, we can start with that. What is the hardest part of being my assistant, Kailey? Because now that you're on the camera, you can't complain about this. So we're just going to go in a different direction here real quick. What is the hardest part?
I think that the hardest part is, honestly, it's really not that bad, to be quite honest. I feel like a lot of people would look at you and be like, wow, what is it like to be his assistant?
Ouch! I'm offended or appalled or flattered.
But I feel like we do jive pretty well. I mean, there are some times where it's like, okay, I thought we were on the same page there, but turns out we are not at all. So I mean, just working through those times, but you're good at communicating. I feel like I try and communicate as much as I can, so it's not that bad.
Jake, can we definitely cut that audio and send that to Hannah? I got told I was good at communicating. I would like that for the record, so taking it there. All right, so we're all in real estate, and if you guys also saw the common theme is just get in shape, and apparently you become a successful entrepreneur. So they all teach fitness classes. What was it like, or what made you all you're all kind of doing different stuff, but you all have some similarities, some similar themes. And Alex, I'll kind of bring it back to you. When you decided to kind of transition into this space, I'm always curious to learn from people. Was it like a moment where you're just like, fuck this, I'm going to bet on myself? Were you kind of forced into it? Did you ever think you'd end up in this space? What was that like?
Yeah, my dad's an entrepreneur, and so I've always...
So you were around it your whole life.
I've been around it. I've watched him build, achieve his version of time freedom, financial freedom.
What does he do?
He owns a manufacturing company.
Okay.
He does release liners, so the part of a Band-Aid that releases off, that's what they make.
Did he patent it?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Your dad's the man. Now I have like 1,000 questions.
He's a boss.
All right.
Yeah, get him on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Off camera.
So I've always been around it, and I always have had that fire within myself. I was in the corporate world for about 10 years doing marketing, specifically brand marketing. And throughout that time, my husband and I, we house hacked, we bought our first multifamily, lived in it, moved on, and we've done that. So my time in corporate allowed me the finances to do that. And I think the tipping point for me was when I had my first son, and I became a lot more intentional with my time and my energy, and, being away from him to work at a job that wasn't inspiring to me, that was, I felt like I'm going through the motions. And I thought long and hard about, if it were him in this position, what would I tell him?
What would you tell your son, you mean?
Yeah. Like,
so what would you tell? What would you have told him in that position?
To do something that is inspiring to him, that he's passionate about. And I felt just from there, the writing was on the wall. Like, I have to lead by example. And that was kind of it for me. So, I mean, it was a huge risk. I had, we call them the golden handcuffs. I had great benefits. I made great money. I had flexibility. I worked remote, but I was miserable. And so I walked away from it.
Isn't it funny? I'm going to go deeper. Guys, and again, this is a conversation style show. So in case you forget what it's like to be on here, don't worry. I'm not going to ask you all individual questions. You can all chime in. Because you said something a second ago that doesn't get talked about enough.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important, the language that we use with ourselves. And you said, I had a great job. I had great benefits. Isn't it interesting how we're so subconsciously programmed to think? Because you ended with, but I was miserable.
Yeah.
Well, if you were miserable, were those things really great? Yeah. Or were you told by somebody else they were great and you're supposed to accept them as great?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the power of the golden handcuffs. That's the illusion that people don't realize, that I don't care. There's no monetary value on your personal being. And we can all get amounts of money thrown at us and temptation, right? But if you are truly missing something inside, eventually, that's why they say that the difference between being, driven and desire, right? If you are truly driven, it's going to outbeat desire every single time. Mm-hmm. Because eventually that's going to fade. Motivation is going to fade. But if you're truly driven, your son was your aha moment. Like, fuck this. I don't care. I'll figure it out. And boom, you put yourself in that position. Yeah. Did you have a conversation with your father, who was an entrepreneur, about making this change?
Oh, yeah. And we talk about it all the time. And
you share any nuggets you can share?
We talk a lot about, we're just always on to the next. Like, you're just never satisfied, never content. And it's a good and a bad way to be. It's like you finding the balance of finding those moments.
I hate the word balance, Alex. It's the most overrated fucking word of my life. When have you ever
No,
done something?
I agree with you.
We're going deeper here.
Yeah.
You're in the gym, you're a trainer, right?
Yeah.
Balance is no balance.
No.
Balance is bullshit.
Yeah.
You're all in, you're all in. And
Yeah.
the only reason you made it, and credit to you for making it, is because you weren't living in balance.
Yeah.
Right? And I know you've transitioned a couple of businesses. When you were building up these franchises to sell them, were you balanced? No. Were you worried about your... No, talk
Very
about your lack of balance. Sitting over there all quiet in the corner. Come on, get involved in the conversation, Danielle. Talk about your balance, your lack of balance. What does that mean?
Well, I always like to call it integration. You have to integrate...
She's so smart. I can't even spell that word. Thank you.
We have to integrate our personal life with our work life as an entrepreneur. It's just, you can't have one or the other. The other one is up in flames if you just focus on one of them. So integrating them, and how that looks different for everybody. Mm-hmm. And, depending if you have 1 kid, 3 kids, no kids, that changes everything. Yeah. So I like to call it integration. That's a great way. We're going to go with integration. I like that. Yeah. And I know, like you said, we're never satisfied, but I also think that's our competitive advantage as entrepreneurs. I know, like, Kailey and I have talked a lot, and she's obviously coming at this at a young age where I'm just so impressed with her all the time, because I wish I was thinking that way at that age. Yeah. I mean, my story, my experience is when I got Rich Dad Poor Dad as a 21-year-old,
I remember trying to listen to it. And I asked the people in my circle, right? And they were all like, it doesn't work. It's a scam. It's, have your great job with your great benefits and blah, 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 blah. Luckily, I'm stubborn and I kept pushing, but it took me a decade. Yeah. I do feel like social media has changed the game a little bit because you can go to YouTube University. But you also, you have to bounce from the next thing, but you also have that internal belief. And I'm willing to bet that all three of you, I don't know if you want to speak to that, have that internal confidence of, I'm just going to figure it the fuck out.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
There's definitely so many people that you have to almost ignore because...
IKB, I know better.
Yeah. Because just like you always say, if they're not doing it, I'm probably not going to take their advice. So like I'll listen to what anybody has to say. Of course, I'll sit in there and listen to your opinions. But if you're not relevant to the situation, I'm probably not going to do that. And there was definitely times where I don't know, I'm very...
Did you say very old?
No, I'm very not secretive.
Did you guys hear that?
I think she has an older mindset. Like,
I'm
literally
old.
I'm
Very
80 years old
mature.
at heart.
80 years old at heart? Okay. Good to know. So you've got about 2 years. You're well past SSI age.
No, I always do things before I tell people because I don't necessarily want to hear
Out of the war.
Yeah.
Like that.
the negativity. And I'm very selective on who I do tell, if I do tell somebody. So I'll only tell people when I'm doing something if I know that they're going to give me valid advice for it. If I know that they have no experience in it and their advice is not going to be valid and it's possibly going to bring down my ambition, I'm not going to even tell them I'm doing it.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
She is amazing. That's a great. Of course, 24-year-old has the best. 25 now has the best answer. 25, right? I got it right.
25, yeah.
Look at that.
1 month.
Look at that. Come on, boss of the year over here. Lucky guess. But I think your energy has to be preserved, and that's one thing that I'm always amazed by. Back to the entrepreneurial world is the psychology of there's no paycheck coming. No one's coming to save you, right? Have you guys? How have you dealt with that anxiety in your own lives? As I know you both, obviously me and Kailey can't really relate to that, but you both have transitioned from pretty good corporate careers. Is that just like, that's when I feel like people always ask, like, how do I bet on myself? How do I get going? And I'm like, that's a loaded question, but the first thing, are you prepared to work a lot more hours for a lot less money?
Yeah.
And you got to figure out that level of pain. What was that fear? What was that fear like? What was it making that switch and transition like, Danielle?
Honestly, it was more leaning into the thrill of like, the chains are off, anything is possible. I can do literally anything I want right now.
You're
And
so fucking positive. It's infectious.
I'm serious.
I love it. I truly love it.
yeah, you just have to move past the fear because what is on the other side of that is so much greater than you just being stuck in this cubicle, afraid of what's going to happen.
And again, I always say there's absolutely nothing wrong with being an employee.
No.
What pisses me off, though, is people get to the point you were at, and then they won't pull the trigger. If you're at that point where you're miserable and you don't want to do it, don't do it. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. And it's like, if you want to be an employee, like we have a staff member now, absolute rock star. They want to grow within the company. I love that. I'm amazed by that. And that's amazing. So there's no resentment. There's no buildup. But it's like, if you have that internal conversation, you have to do something about it. And that's a perfect segue we're going to ask you. So, there's that whole buzzword, girl boss, which I don't really like because I like, and that's where I was going to take this. It's kind of a joke, all jokes aside, to have the all-female panel. I started with that because I think one problem we have is I have never thought of Kailey as my female assistant. She's just my assistant. Yeah. I've never thought of Danielle as a female entrepreneur. She's just an entrepreneur. That's just badasses. Does it kill you a little bit with this whole girl boss culture and how it's like, and I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, but I almost feel like that almost does more harm than good because it's like, no, we're all equal. There's no like, you're not just a good business owner who's a female. You're just a good business owner.
Yes.
I don't really care what's going on underneath the hood one way or the other. Does that make sense? Can you guys speak to that a little bit?
Yeah,
Don't be afraid now. Everybody got real tight right now. Everyone's like, who's getting tagged in this reel? I'm nervous about
Well,
this.
I feel like we're all like, yeah, let me tell you.
Say something. Go for it. Hey, go ahead, Alex.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I think it takes away, if anything, and it's more degrading in a sense than uplifting. So.
Yeah. I feel like it's been hijacked. Is that a fair way to say it? Like, I'm a girl boss.
Yeah.
The fuck does that mean?
I think it's also like saying like, you can hustle too. You can hustle like a guy, like a boss who's a guy. I don't know. I just feel like that's not the vibe here.
I agree. It drives me up a fucking wall. and I don't like it, and I think we need to change it to just it's entrepreneurs first. If you're a mom, great. If you're a woman, great. If you're a dad, great. If you're a guy, great. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you have any thoughts to add in on that? Being all quiet over there in the corner.
I mean, I've never used the term girl boss, but
That's why I like you.
Yeah, but I feel like we're just more of like alpha females.
Okay, expand on that. So you got to both put a T-shirt out. Okay, alpha female. Talk to me about alpha female. What does that mean?
Like obviously you have like your alpha and your beta. Everybody has it in them, but I feel like this group here particularly leans more into the alpha side. Like we have no problem going and doing anything. It's not like we need to wait on anybody else to hold our hand and bring us there.
More the mindset.
It's totally a mindset. Like Danielle just said it earlier, I genuinely believe I could do anything, ever, always in this
also
world.
believe you can do anything.
Thank you. So I feel like just being able to lead and not having to follow is a huge advantage, being an alpha female.
Yeah, it's like balancing.
I think we're trying to coin a new hashtag. Keep going, Danielle.
The masculine energy with the feminine energy that exists like within us, not to get woo woo and stuff, but it's true.
Oh, we are definitely going woo. Now we're getting into fucking chakras.
But it's true. It's true. And especially when you become a mom, like you are very soft and loving, but at the same time, you want to go hard with your business. And it's like having the balance of both of those. It's kind of awesome.
That's kind of the other thing too, and you guys obviously both have kids, and I'll speak to that because I also think like people. One thing that really pisses me off is it's like people want you to choose, and I'm like, no, like there's absolutely nothing wrong. I don't care. Stay home mom who doesn't, stay home, mom who works her own business. The mother is the most important job in the world, in my opinion, just personally. But I also feel like there's like this we're in this weird part in society where I feel like it's like under attack, where it's like you're somehow expected to be one or the other, and I just think we need to change that.
Amen.
I truly do. Like this is one of the things that really bothers me because one, the whole reason, just to like really geek out for a second, I don't think people even realize the whole reason that we now have to have most two working parent households is because of inflation and government spending and taxation. Like they created a system and a problem that destroyed the sense of community in the family home. Like it didn't just happen because all of a sudden women woke up one day and said, I want to own businesses. It was they were forced into the workplace. And now it's like, hey, guess what? Some are really crushing it in that space, just like a man would. Some are also very loving and nurturing, say, I want to stay home and I want to be a mom, which is so beautiful. And I feel like, why do we attack? Like, have you guys caught heat for that on any side? Has anyone given you shit or any personal experience dealing with anything like that? Because you guys are wearing both hats.
I don't think I've really gotten shit for it. Have you?
No, I've never. But you see it out
and
there.
And you feel the guilt constantly.
What do you mean feel the guilt? Talk about that.
Like mom guilt. Have you heard of mom guilt? It's like.
Believe it or not, I am not a mom, so I have
I don't know. You know moms. So.
I know moms. Yeah. I know
it's
two
just
of them
the
right
feeling
here.
of like you're never doing enough. You're never. You should be here when you're there, and you shouldn't be missing bedtime because you're at a showing, or it's just the feeling of like you're always falling short, and it can be like overwhelming at times. And I think being an entrepreneur and a mom, I'm feeling that pull from both of my babies, my business and my children, where and to your point, there's no such thing as balance, right? It's never 50-50. If I'm at bedtime all 5 nights of the week, I'm not at a networking event or a showing or something like that. And if I'm out, I'm missing some of those things. So you're always pouring into one more than the other.
And this is why balance is bullshit.
Yes.
I keep telling you, it's completely bullshit.
Yeah.
You want to add that?
Oh no, I just completely agree. It's a tough situation where you have that mom guilt, like you were saying, and you just want to be doing your best in both areas. But I think that's what really makes us special people, is that we always want to give 100%, and no matter what we're doing. And I know that our kids are seeing that, and they can feel it too.
You just hit the nail on the head. That was a perfect segue because you didn't know that's where I was going to take this. What you just said a second ago is where I wanted to go next with you guys, because you're also setting a very good example You also did something that maybe you don't give yourself credit for, and you don't give yourself credit for, and maybe you don't give yourself credit for. You are back to the whole theme, the whole point of bet on yourself, the whole point with what we're doing as entrepreneurs within the company, every single thing we're doing is intentionally designing your life.
Yes.
So if anybody gets anything out of this episode, you have 3 amazing women they can reach out to about intentionally designing and taking the risk. Because I'll tell you straight up, Alex, I don't know you as well as Danielle, obviously. You are literally one of the best moms I know. It is amazing how dialed in you are. And I can tell you guys, working with me, I am not easy to work with. I am a pain in the fucking ass. Full disclosure. I want things when I want it. I don't care what's going on in your existence. In my fucked up mind, I tend to pretend it's all Michael Ketchen because my brain goes too fast. And Danielle, you're always on it, but you are also always there for your little guy. Yeah. And I'm always super impressed by, again, that you're so intentional with your action. And I feel like if people could understand and reach out and connect with you guys on, you're juggling a lot of hats. So one, you are doing a great job. So hear that. You need to receive that. And I also think you're teaching life lessons about there's a time to earn, there's a time to be present, there's a time to play, there's a time to do it. That all, if you think about all of that, that circles back to being intentional and controlling your time. If you are working for somebody else, I'm sorry, you cannot do that. At the end of the day, and I say it all the time, there's nothing wrong with it, but if you are not choosing when you wake up, where you go when you wake up, and how you spend your time when you wake up, you are not free.
Yes.
Also,
Period.
I'm not married, nor do I have kids. But what I've observed is that
I had a joke that I almost made. I was going to shout out somebody, and I just totally walked it back. It's Captain America. All right, keep going.
now I forget.
Yeah, I flustered you now. You're not married, you don't have kids.
I'm not married, I don't have kids. But, okay, we're talking about the women here, obviously, because it's all women in the room. And the mom is so important to be able to do both, take care of the kids and work, but also a huge part of that is going to be the husband, because a lot of men still do have that idea that the woman is going to like cook, clean, take care of the kids, and they're still working. I see so many people where it's not always going to be 50-50, of course. If one person is down, the other person's going to have to pick up the other percent. But I still do see the woman is busting their ass 10 times harder because they're expected to be this mom and work.
So now we're going to get controversial.
And the husband,
now we're just taking it
and
right
the husband
here.
just thinks that he's just there to work and that the woman is still going to take care of the kid, but she's doing 10 times more. So if she's
You have a lot of experience with husbands expecting this of you? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes,
You're just speaking for men everywhere in broad generalities now, huh?
Yeah.
Producer Jess is over there laughing, nodding along. She's like, you tell him, girl. First off, let's lock it up because I'm going to push back, all right? And this is why this is good debate. Matt definitely is like, you want to let Mike Chadwick in if we can? Matt is an amazing husband who does a lot of that stuff around his house. Shout out to Matthew Hitchcock. But no, I get you. I was raised by a single mom, so I do get it. I think it can go. I would just be careful paying. I don't know if I agree with that. You guys agree with that? I don't know if I agree with that. I think in some households.
Some.
She
That's
said
what I'm
some.
saying.
I
That's
thought
what
you
I'm
said
saying.
like all men are evil.
I'm
She's saying
saying
you need
some.
to marry the right
Brush.
person.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We're all fucked. You get in there, caveman, and
That's why she's holding off for the right man.
that's why she's so.
Kaylee?
No one is
I
going to
would
be good enough for
argue
my Kaylee.
that, and
All
I
right?
know Phil really well,
Yes.
and my husband is the same way, that the difference that allows a mom to be a successful entrepreneur or the family dynamic makes a huge difference in supporting the success of both the family and the business, because I'm comfortable leaving my kids. My husband's an amazing dad. He's a huge supporter, my biggest fan.
Shout out to the amazing dads out there.
Exactly.
So it makes
Shout
all
out.
the
We haven't
difference
hit
for
Phil in the
us.
follow-up episode.
Yeah.
This is bullshit.
Yeah.
No.
We always say, Phil and I, we always give 100, 100. It's not 50-50, right? We're both giving 100 all the time to making sure everything's running smoothly and supporting each other.
And again, I'm going to go back to the theme that we were saying. It's the intentionality, right? Like tonight we have something going on. Instead of going to be there, like, no, Phil's on, so I'm.
Yeah.
It's those little details that I think, as to your point, one of the things that, I don't know if you guys agree with this. What do you guys think the most important decision you'll make in your life is?
Who you marry?
Yeah, your partner.
And I think any successful entrepreneur I have found would agree with that. Your spouse. I was just telling a young kid this the other day. I'm like, the most important decision you will make is your spouse.
100%.
And if you don't lay that foundation strongly when you go to build that house, it's going to topple. And I'm constantly amazed at how people don't think those things through. Oh, I want kids, but he doesn't. Okay, well then what are we doing here, right?
Yeah.
I want to be an entrepreneur, but they want to work at corporate W-2. Okay, do they know what being married to an entrepreneur entails?
Yeah.
There is no paycheck. There is no benefits. There is figure it out or get fucked. Those are the two options. Those are the two ways it goes. So I think that, before we attack all men in the ecosystem, Jake, that needs to be a clip. And we're going to take the Kaylee fan base,
Dude, now they're gonna hate me for my
there.
steak, and now I'm a man hater.
First off, your steak is I will continue.
It lives on.
It's so
lives
bad.
on.
It's so bad. All right, so we need to continue this conversation. I think what we need to do in the future is get Phil and your lovely husband on, maybe for an episode, because now I got thoughts going. With that said, though, I'm going to do it a little different before we transition out here. I want you to tell people to get a hold of you, but what is one piece of advice you would give to an aspiring entrepreneur? Danielle, what is one piece of advice you would give to an aspiring entrepreneur?
A female entrepreneur?
No, don't pull that bullshit. We just talked about this.
It was a quiz.
We just talked. It was a quiz, and she failed it. She failed it so bad. Apparently, the men cannot talk to Danielle Harasek. They don't do that over here. What is to any entrepreneur?
Yeah, just you have to believe that you can achieve anything. No matter how you grew up, no matter who's in your life right now, you can achieve anything. You just have to be so unapologetic and laser focused on what you want.
Rewind and play that back, men and women, 3 times, because that was great advice. Men that's applicable too as well.
Yes, it is.
Jesus, so bad. Alex?
You just got to be ready to work. You can't become an entrepreneur because you want more time. I mean, you can, but more time away. You're working around the clock. You get to choose when and what you're doing.
Never an off.
There's never an off.
Yes. And I want to highlight what you said to give yourself credit that you could choose to tuck in your kids every night, but you know it's going to suffer on the back end. Yeah. You go to the showings, you could do it every night, you make more money, but it's going to suffer on that end. It's that intentionality and that focus and making sure the balance, it's 100% here, and it's 100% here. You're not trying to do 50-50 because then you do it half-assed.
Yep.
Advice you would have, Miss World Famous Man Hater. This is why you're single. You just destroyed every man in YouTube. She just threw the whole world out there. They're all off the market now.
Well, I need to be more alpha than me.
Well, then Shamir
I know
assistant
you're
to tell you.
Yeah.
Oh my! I have so many thoughts that I can't. My mind goes so fast.
I would say ignore anybody that is not glass half full, because I was going to get coffee one time and I was trying to like scan my card and it wasn't reading it. Little inconveniences like that add up all day. So anybody's negativity or anybody that's going to tell you this, that, and the other, just ignore it, because you're going to go through life listening to so many negative people because the world is miserable and you just have to keep pushing.
Yeah, being positive is a choice.
Yes.
That's amazing advice. All right. Where can people get a hold of you, Danielle?
On Instagram, Danielle Harasek.
There's some big exciting news coming on Instagram soon, I think.
Stay tuned.
Instagram or my number, 978-973-6050. I know you've...
Realtor.
I knew you were going to say that.
Always agents
Call
who
me.
give out the fucking cell phone. I'm going to have people just start blasting.
Can I scan a barcode?
Just go,
Here's your QR code.
Oh my God. It's all, it never fails with the cell phone. I love it. You're famous. Do we need to do your... Where can people get a hold of you?
I don't know. You can email
don't
me.
know.
Wherever you
What
are.
do you want to say to me?
Yeah,
Kailey
just-
Kirker,
First off, they
Kailey.
want to say badass 25-year-old house hacking 2 apartments,
She
building
does.
an empire.
She does get a lot of DMs asking about that.
Oh, does she?
I've started
Yes.
getting DMs.
Oh my God!
awesome.
They wanna learn from Kailey.
Yeah.
She's off limits. All right. No, this was a blast. Thank you guys for coming in. For Danielle, for Alex, for Kaylee, I'm Michael Ketchen, and as always, bet on yourself.